It's that short guy here again, and this past week I uploaded a video showing you guys how to like brake change and change the brakes on the 2015 Cadillac Escalade. I drove the thing in Houston, no problem, but then my wife drove it this week, and on Thursday night we decided to go out to dinner, and I took the car out and I was driving the truck, and I noticed it was super bouncy. I mean, it was just something that I didn't notice, and we had just gotten back from driving all the way to Lake Tahoe about 2 weeks ago. So I thought it was really strange, and sure enough, I went and I looked at the driver's side, everything looked fine, and the passenger side magnetic ride shock was completely shot. Now I'm going to show you guys a quick video of it, but I expected this to happen. My mom has a 2017 Cadillac Escalade with the magnetic ride control, and GM already replaced hers under warranty at around 40,000 miles. It's well known on the forums that these magnetic ride control shocks don't last very long. This is it's very common. Denali's, Tahoes, they all suffer from this. But you know, mine lasted pretty damn long. You know, it lasted all the way to 81,000 miles. The car has 81,000 miles on it. So at this point, I was trying to stretch it the whole time to 100,000. But I said, what the heck? Got to the dealership, and I said, I'm gonna rebuild the whole damn suspension, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna go about doing it. So hopefully this helps you guys in the future. On you know, what you need. I was gonna list the part numbers, but the problem is I think from 2015 to I think on 2017 they changed some of the control arms. I believe it like went from aluminum to like stamped steel. So you better go to your GM parts dealer, give them your VIN, and have them check it out for you. That's what I did. I bought these all from a local GM dealership. Everything was like 44% discounted off. I was gonna go with Moog. I'm sure y'all know Moog suspension. I trust their quality, they do good parts, but in this case it was so cheap from GM, I was like, what the heck, I might as well buy it from GM. I don't want to talk too much, I want to get down to the video, but here are all the parts. I'm missing one. I'll go to the dealership tomorrow to pick up the other parts that they're going to get ordered in next day. So, it's going to be a complete install and a complete redo of the suspension. Upper and lower control arms to the front, upper and lower control arms to the rear, you know, sway bar links, tie rod ends, everything's gonna be changed. So I think it'd be helpful for a lot of you guys out there. So just follow along. Thanks. Okay, guys, it may be kind of hard to see. It's nighttime, but you can see this is the driver's side shock assembly, and you can see it's clear. I think mostly from the camera. You can see there's no oil or anything down there. Let me go to the passenger side and show you. Okay, guys, this is the passenger side assembly, and you can see right below that upper control arm, you can kind of see a small tad bit of it, but you see all that magnetic ride oil from that shock that's leaked out? That's how you know you have a bad magnetic front strut. Okay, so I'll take the wheel off and you guys will see a better picture of what it looks like, and I'll put, you know, I'll compare the two to each other, but that's there you go. There's the bad leaking magnetic fluid coming out of the strut. So yeah, it really affects the ride handling. I could tell right off the bat, it is bouncy AF, okay? So it's not gonna be a smooth Cadillac ride that you're used to. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the spare wheel. It's gonna make it a lot easier to work on the rear shocks and get those rear control arms out, and also we're gonna be able to replace that lateral bar that goes across the differential. So.
Now you can see with the wheel off, all that magnetoride fluid. Dang, it's insane. I just popped out of the shock. And so the shock is completely done for.
Should hold.
So before I remove the shock, I'm going to try to loosen this sway bar link. I'm going to bring this nut up just a tad bit. That way it lets this lower control arm drop a little bit so I can easily get that upper, or that I can easily get the shock out. So remove these two bolts. They're both 15 millimeters to get this lower shock out. And then we're going to work on the top bolts in a second. Okay guys, I can't really record this while doing it. It's gonna be too difficult, but if you can see, I'm gonna take a picture of it to show you guys. If you can see, there's 3 bolts there, and you see the top of the sensor that goes into the magnetic ride shock. You're gonna unplug that wire. It's a simple quick disconnect you can just get off with your fingers. And then you're gonna unbolt those 3 bolts. There's actually wire stays on there, so just pull off those wire stays. Those are just wire organizers. Pull them off each bolt top. And then remove each bolt, and then that way the shock will drop out. It's very simple. It's just one wire leading from the top of the shock, and disconnect that, disconnect all 3 wire stays, and remove the bolts, and the shock should fall right on out. There we go. Try a little bit forward. Should allow you to. There we go. If you pry a little bit forward underneath the shock and against the lower control arm, that'll allow you to drop the shock out, and then you would pull it out from the top like this. Now remember the orientation it went in. So I think it'd be good. Hold on. If I keep it here, this will be the bolt that goes in the front. You need to put it back the exact same way you took it out, because this has to align to go back up into the strut mount, the upper strut mount. So I always mark it. So there you can see someone had already put a little mark there, but I'm gonna do it the same way that you took it out, right? That should let me know that that lines with that one. spring seat. And this is forward facing. Alrighty, I'll pull this out. So when we rebuild it later, we know how to put it back together. But look at this. Check out this mag ride fluid. Look how dead it is. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. Pull this out. It becomes heavy. Should be able to hopefully drop. This should pull out. That. There we go. Knuckles off. All right. This side. So now this can be removed. See, the bushings are pretty good on this one, but you know, that's preventative maintenance. Okay guys, so let's talk about kind of like the differences between the replacement one and the original one.
So I did go to the GM dealership. I gave the guys my VIN. He looked it up and he gave me this one, saying it's the correct one. Definitely, it's gonna fit. But if you go on my GMPartsDirect.com, hello, you're in my shot. If you go on GM Parts, come here. If you go on GMPartsDirect.com, you're gonna see a lot of part numbers for a 15 Escalade Premium, and I think this goes honestly all the way with the Tahoes and Yukons. Hey, stay, sit. Good girl. And so there are 3 kinds. There's an aluminum, there's a steel, and I believe there's a stamped steel, right? Oh no, aluminum, cast iron, and stamped steel. There are 3 options. So I read a lot. We did some digging on the forums, and apparently, I think in 2017, it's either 2016 or 2017, they did change the control arms on the Escalades. I know that for a fact. And I can confirm that because my mom's 17 Escalade is a black color control arm. Now with that being said, I'm pretty sure this is aluminum. It's gotta be aluminum. And this is either cast iron or stamped steel, but I think it's stamped steel. The part number on this control arm is 84114506. So if someone with more experience can confirm, let me know. I personally don't really care what it is. The price was so good, I'm not like off-roading in this car. I mean, this car is it's a luxury street riding vehicle. So I'm not worried. I don't need anything like a reinforced control arm or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, this feels good. I don't know. It's really hard to say. This one, I don't know. They both just feel like the same weight. Anyway, just be aware of that. Don't be scared. It's gonna fit, especially if you go to a GM dealership. It's gonna fit. All I can tell you is that my mom's 17 Escalade has this color control arm, and I know color is a bad way to kind of go off things, but hers is black. Her upper and lower is black. My upper and lower is this color. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if that helps you guys. Just wanted to point out these differences. As far as the bushings, they look pretty good. I think I probably could have kept this on here. Okay, if you look closely, it is starting to crack, and that means the bushings are definitely, if you look closely, they're drying out as compared to this one. Oh man, these are beautiful. So, it probably could have gone a little bit longer. If you look here, you can see these bushings. It's starting to crack a little bit. I don't know if you can see from the camera, but if you look really closely, you can see that it's kind of getting dried out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace them now, so I can do it 80,000 miles later. Keep them loose for now. Oh, wait a second. You only need to loosen this side, huh? I see. Wonder. Dude. Stupid me. Don't hit it with the hammer. Don't do that. Just go up a little bit. Gosh, that was a big mistake.
just like that, the control arm comes out. Bushings on this one looks pretty good. They're kind of dried out though, to be honest with you. So yeah, just go ahead and replace them. Oh no, look, this one's cracked. This inner one's cracked. This one's cracking, so it's time to go. And we'll tighten it down after I get everything on there. Okay. Whew. Now, once we get the knuckle back on, we can tighten the lower and the upper control arm down. So the next step is simply to get the knuckle back on. And yeah, once I get the knuckle back on, I can change out the outer tie rod end. So here goes nothing. Leave it like that. Alright. Oh shit. And then I'm gonna grab the knuckle. Okay. A heavy sucker. So I'm gonna grab the knuckle. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. Okay. So this. Actually, you know what? I have to get the steering. This has to go in first, and then you can hold it with one hand and then stick. How did I do it earlier? Man, this is a tough one. I gotta think about this. I see why people remove the drive shaft, because if you don't, it can kind of get confusing. But there we go. Okay, and then what you can do is pull up and grab the little nut. Where'd it go? Shoot, this is the bad part. I just took it off. Here. Grab this little nut. Not very easy, I can tell you that. There we go. And so now it's kind of semi-supported. And then you should be able to get this bottom nut back in. Okay, so that part's put back together.
Okay. It's gonna allow us to push. This upper controller. There. And so now it's assembled loosely. And where's that upper control arm nut? Somewhere here. Did I put it? Oh, here it is. There we go. Now I can tighten everything up. There we go. Go. Okay. And this could take a long time. Okay, and then you're gonna do another pass. And the second pass is 90 to 110 degrees. So just kind of eyeball it. Start here, you go 90, should be good enough. Okay, so what I like to do is just get a little bit of electric tape. And I'd like to mark exactly where, because you want to get the steering as close as possible so you can drive it to the dealership to get it aligned. And they'll fix all this for you. Just mark with tape a little bit to where it was originally. It's going anywhere. He can break that loose. There we go. Okay, so that is Gucci. So yeah, everything's back on. Everything is torqued down correctly. And so all I have to do is tighten this what do you call it, wheel axle nut. All right guys, it is shock rebuilding time. I do not suggest to do it unless you have one of these machines. It's very dangerous. I wouldn't attempt it. You need something that, you need You need a shock compressor that's really strong. I got this one off Amazon by Jack Tech, and it's a good one. So let me set it up to. Okay, I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but because this isn't a shock that we're not using anymore, just cut it off. Now, just grab an 18. See how the seat's coming up? Okay, gonna move this. This. Good heavens. Shock. Here's the old shock and new shock, and what looks like happened is this cap busted off, and so look, all the fluid is coming out. It's a mess, guys. It's created a freaking mess in my garage. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, do you just drive these pieces of shit until they fail? They're gonna fail. That's the problem. Anybody who owns an LTZ Tahoe, Denali, any car, Sierra, it doesn't matter. If it has McRide, the damn thing's gonna pop off on you, and it's gonna make a mess, and it's a bitch to clean up. In this regard, I really do appreciate the Z55 suspension that they used to offer in like the older models. Like I have an 07 EXT that has airbags in the back, and then the Z55 suspension. It's cleaner, man. The next thing is trying to get that connector out. I would highly suggest just buy the new connector. I have no idea how I'm going to get these two wires out, but I'll figure it out. I would say just buy the part. Just straight up buy the part. Ah. All right. So now it's time to put the shock back in. Just make sure you loosen the oh my god, stabilizer link again. I know you're gonna tighten it up in an earlier step, but I'm gonna have to tighten it back up later. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the top 3 bolts. Okay. And that's 174 foot-pounds, but okay, I'm done. Okay, you're good. You can let go.
I'm so excited.
Not too much, just a little bit of grease. Not too much, remember. That should be good. You don't want too much grease. Just enough. Just reinstall the wheel.
Cool.
Okay, so the back ordered rear lower control arms finally came in. I'm not gonna take off the wheel. I don't think I have to. Let's give it a shot. Oh man. Probably could torque it off. Sit here. Yeah, it's not too tight.
100 Newton meters for the first pass and 95 degrees for the second pass. Not very tight at all, actually. Shot of the brand new suspension. Car drives extremely smooth, guys. Everything is pretty much brand new. The car has 81,000 miles on it. Actually, both, as you see on my video, both the passenger and driver mag ride shocks were gone, and the rear driver's side mag ride shock was leaking. So 81,000 miles. These mag ride shocks don't hold up long, but I figured I might as well just do the entire suspension. I expect to drive this car to at least 200,000 miles. Show you the rear. Let's see, the rear has a new shock, sway bar link, upper and lower rear control arms. You can see from this view right here, upper and lower. And then there's the new lateral bar as well. Not too difficult of an install. I would just say a time-consuming install. But it does keep your Escalade running nice and smooth. And I could promise you